So one way that we can work with data frames is just by reading in our data. This is probably the most common way that you're going to interact with data frames. So once we run this particular line, and we see over here in our environment, we have this object called df, and it puts it under the heading data. So you know it's stored as a data frame. We can click on this and it opens up a new tab, and we can see, here are the variables along the top, here are the rows along that left-hand side, and the values are held within the data frame. And then from here, we could do operations, statistics, comparisons, inferential tests, etc. We can also make our own data frames. So perhaps we have a series of vectors or, a collection of variables that we want to combine into a data frame. And we can do that by using just the data.frame function. So I have my fruits list here, and we can see it's character vector, and then maybe I'll add age, and I'm going to have the same number of entries here, just so R doesn't get too terribly cranky. And let's say I'll go 6, 10, 13, 18. Okay. Run that. I can see we have this up here. But then I want to add a comment for my sanity. And then we're going to combine these into a data frame. And, we'll call it something creative, like fruit and age, like that. What you name your data doesn't particularly matter. You just can't name it something that's a function in R. If you're going to use spaces, use that underscore, and just name it something that you kind of remember what it is. So that way, as you're working with it, you don't have to constantly refresh your mind on, like, what did I call my data again? So we'll call it that. And then we'll use the data.frame. And we will say, let's say that we want age to come first. So we want that to be our first column. And then we want fruits to come next. We want that to be our second column. And if we run this, we don't really get any output here, but we get a new object over here in our environment window. So we see we now have this new thing called fruit underscore age. It has 4 observations of 2 variables. And since it's under this kind of data heading, we can be quite confident that it's a data frame. And we can click on it again if we wanted to. And here we go. Here's our column names up here, our variable names, our rows, and our data entries.